So.
Do you have to do extra rehab, Brock, with the arm and stuff?
I would say no. It's just like I said before, just like some pre-practice throwing stuff and post-throwing stuff. All things that I've done in the past as a quarterback. So, yeah.
Brock, last week the Giants blitzed you about 85% of the time, and you threw for 3 bills. This week you get a team that doesn't, on paper, blitz as much. How would you describe the differences and the different challenges?
Yeah. Last week it was almost like every single play we had to have an answer for some kind of blitz or all out. This week it's a little different. They do show some pressures in certain scenarios, but for us, man, it's like, all right, here's what they do defensively, and we got to attack that. It is different than all the pressures and whatnot from last week, but still, it's going to be a solid defense. What they do it well. They're consistent in what they do, and they're very well coached. So it's a new challenge, but still, there's some things that are similar in terms of we just got to be ready for some things just in case. So, yeah.
What similarity do you see from what you studied for Philly versus what you're seeing now with Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, obviously same, play caller and scheme, but obviously the personnel is different. So just the way they call plays can be a little bit different than Philly, but there are some similar things for sure within the scheme, that we had game plan for last year in playoffs and whatnot. But at the same time, man, it's like they got different players and just their style is a little bit different compared to Philly. So.
Did you own any Cardinals gear growing up, or?
I didn't. Nah, I was a Dolphins fan, and then I won the high school player of the year by the Cardinals. So I got a Cardinals Purdy jersey actually, the one that I took a picture with Patrick Peterson in. So that was it.
Why the Dolphins?
My dad's from Florida, born and raised Dolphin fan. It was like a generational thing. So then we were. So.
Chance to FaceTime with Dan Marino. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it was sweet. It was special. Fitzpatrick pulled out the iPad, FaceTime Dan Marino. I was like, what? But basically I told him, like, hey, I wear 13 because of you. And my dad obviously loved watching you play. And so it was a special moment for sure. He's a legend. So.
I know it's all about wins. You just want to win the game. But are there any specific stats or general stats that you and Kyle and Brian maybe look at? Yards per pass, yards per play, anything that you guys kind of feature? This is a kind of a barometer of what we want to do.
I mean, as a team, really, it's all about the ball. So obviously, the turnover battle's huge for us. We got a good defense, we got a great offense, and it's like, how can we, eliminate the errors and be smart with the ball, even if that means punting and letting our defense do their thing. I feel like all the games that we've played in so far, it's come down to turnovers and how can we create momentum and not waste time by giving the other team the ball freely and allowing them to have good field position or momentum and put up points. I feel like the NFL games can go either way based off of giving the ball up or not. So that's something that we pride ourselves on here a lot, is just trying to win the turnover battle every single game. All the other stuff, the yards per pass or rush, all that stuff, I mean, we just try to game plan and get first downs and score, and all that stuff just sort of comes along with it. So.
Well, you've thrown no interceptions this season, very few in all your games. Could you say maybe some of the passes that kind of look like they're offline are kind of caused by you mostly avoiding the interception? You're seeing the defensive back as, I'm not throwing it that way, even if it's not exactly online where the receiver is?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's some of that. Obviously, being smart with the ball. If it's not the look that we're looking for, don't force it, those kinds of things. In the middle of a play, if it looks good at first, but you could tell the defender's playing it well, same thing. It's like, all right, how can I adjust and move on? There's obviously times where I try to give my guys a shot, and it might be a little dicey, but they do a good job with, making a play on it, breaking it up, or going up and getting it. So that's just where we're at, and got to continue to play smart.
Including playoff games, you've thrown 193 passes without an interception. I don't know if you knew the specifics of that, but probably knew it had been a while. I mean, given what you've just been saying, is that a particular point of pride for you?
I mean, yeah, I want to help my team win. At the end of the day, and that comes down to the decisions that I make. You know, I get the ball every single play, whether I'm handing it off or throwing it. But anytime I'm dropping back and I have to make a decision with the ball in my hands, of course, I pride myself on not harming our team. And so that just comes down to trying to be selfless, making the right decisions, being prepared for situations and scenarios, and obviously giving our guys on offense a shot to catch the ball and obviously run, put up points, and then being smart for, you know, our defense, not putting them in a bad situation with anything like that, making the wrong decision. So, yeah, for me, I'm definitely like, you know, it's on my mind every single play, every snap, like being smart with the ball, and I want to win. So.
Your ability to throw with anticipation is being key to avoiding those interceptions. Is it not a lot of plays where it might be a little bit behind the receiver with the ball out so early it doesn't matter? Yeah,
I feel like that's huge. Anticipation in this game, in our scheme, being on time with guys, throwing before their breaks, before a DB can, you know, catch up. You know, Coach always says the man travels faster than the ball here, so it's like, you know, the NFL, man, everyone's got great speed and elite athleticism, so I got to, you know, obviously anticipate certain throws and everything like that. So, I mean, we're in the NFL. Everyone's really good, so anticipation, I feel like, is huge. So.
How valuable was Brian Greasy to you after that first series? I think you were 3 of 8 on that series. Seemed like things were a little bit off. Is that where he really sort of is valuable to you in those instances?
Yeah, he does a good job just with feeling out how we're doing, how we're seeing the game, how the environment is, what the other team is doing. He just, you know, sort of brings us back to reality of, hey, this is what's going on, this is what I'm seeing. If this is what you're thinking, let's get back to this. So he did a good job last game. You know, first drive, you know, there was some good and some bad. I was a little off, trying to get into a rhythm, and so he did a good job of just like sort of bringing me back into, hey, this is our game plan, trust it, and we got to be seeing certain things. And so he does a great job of bringing us, you know, sort of back down to earth and allowing us to play where we need to play. So he does a good job with that.
You had a couple of fumble center exchanges the last couple of games. What's going on there, and how do you get that kind of correct?
Yeah, I mean, as simple as like Jake and I not being on the same page. You know, not communicating well in the huddle with, you know, when we're snapping the ball. That's just all it has been, those two plays that we've had in the last 2 games. But that's something that I need to do a better job with, communicating and making sure we're on the same page. Both of those times we just weren't. So that's all it is.
Divo and Juwan both battling injuries, and it's next man up, but 2 guys you count on so much. How does that change you?
Yeah, obviously those guys bring so much juice and fire to our team. We got, you know, guys behind them that are ready to, you know, stand up and ready for their opportunity. So for me, it's like, you know, obviously those are great ball players and I love them, but also trusting the guys that are next up. And so we got a great scheme. We got, you know, everyone does their job, and, you know, if we got a couple guys down, the next guys that come up, you know, fill the void and do a great job as well. So for me, it's not anything to panic about or whatnot. Obviously, I want my guys to be healthy and out there. I love playing with them, but we'll be ready to go with whoever's out there. So.
McCaffrey scored in 12 straight games, so I'm kind of curious, when you're on the field with him, do you sense that hunger to get in the end zone, and is there any relief after each touchdown he scored that you see from him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the way Christian prepares and what he does at practice, like you just see the drive and the hunger that he has and love for this game. So, I mean, when we go out onto the field for the games, it's like we know we're going to get his best. And so as a quarterback, it feels good to know, like, Christian's going to give the O-line, myself, this team, everything he's got, every single run. You know, if you watch the film, there's stuff where, you know, it could be like a 2-3 yard gain, but Christian keeps his motor going, man, and he'll get an 8 yard gain, a 9 yard, 10 yard. So he's a huge difference maker, man. And so we can always rely on Christian, you know, to bring some juice and energy, and we feed off it. So.
How much does that filter down throughout the entire offense?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, when you see a guy on film bringing it, whether he's catching the ball, running the ball, he's doing everything. And, you know, not going down off after the first hit, you know, for us on the offense, it's like, okay, man, like, if Christian's willing, you know, to do it, like a playmaker who's not just all about the stats and like he's doing the dirty work, for us to be able to see that, we're like, okay, we want to get behind this guy and feed off it and do what he's doing, you know. So he sort of sets the standard, and we all love, you know, following him and playing alongside Christian. He's special.
Whether it's
during the week or even during the course of the game, are you at the point now where you'll tell Kyle, or you can tell Kyle, hey, this is going to work. This is what I think. I think we should do this because this will work. Or are you still, like, all right, this offense better than anybody else? I'm listening.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in it so long. I feel like I'm still learning. He'll obviously tell us what he's thinking, and it's his game plan and stuff, and it works. He's very successful, and I love it. I love playing in the system. So for me, it's like, all right, I'm absorbing as much as I can, with every game, every rep. But he asked me, he's always open, like, hey, do you feel good about this, or do you not? If not, we won't run it. And so he does a good job with asking the quarterbacks and myself with what we like and what we don't like. So I appreciate that. And but more than anything, man, he's really good at what he does. So obviously I love, listening and learning from him. So.
More than why did you learn being coached by Kyle?
Can you say it again, sorry?
More than why of things happening on the field
Yeah.
did you learn from Kyle?
Yeah, so much. Since I've been here, just like football IQ in general. Obviously the X's and O's and his system's great, but just situational football, how he thinks, what to do in certain situations and scenarios, like I never really would have thought of until I got here. I'm like, wow, like, certain 2-minute drive situations or to start the game off, like every little thing matters and it's all calculated. So I definitely learned from him, and we'll continue to learn from him.
Brock, one football question. I was talking to Brandon Allen before. He claims he's the best golfer on the team. And I said, you're going to drag Brock out there? And he said, I'd take his money, but he hasn't played golf. How does a quarterback from Arizona not play golf? I mean, you've had opportunities. You just turn them down?
Yeah. Well, my dad grew up in Florida, so he's a big fisherman. So I'd be out on the golf courses, but I was always fishing the ponds on the golf courses. So that's my excuse. But, yeah, I'll after my arm healed up after this whole year and stuff, like I wasn't able to golf this off season, but I'll get good enough to take his money. So. Nah, he's a 49er. He's wherever I'm at. So. Yeah, nah, he's he's wherever I'm at now is where he's at. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.